And we're live.
Tonight on Leftovers at Fortnite, I mean midnight. Eric wears a backwards hat.
As
Robbie
always.
smiles weirdly at the camera.
Don't make fun of me.
Kyle is disappointed in everybody. And I eat a pretzel.
Kyle, you're muted.
Oh, I know. I'll shout your
boy.
intro.
Well, this is our first episode of a podcast that we're starting. We don't exactly know what we're going to talk about on any episode. We just know that we're going to do our best to make it entertaining. I know for me personally, this is the first podcast I've ever done. What about you guys?
So I used to work at a college. Oh, sorry, Alex. So I used to work at a college, and I worked at the radio station on there. We held a podcast every week. I did that for about 6 months. But as far as just like doing off the cuff type of things, this is my first time doing it as well.
Kyle?
Kyle is muted. I will go ahead and go here. This is my first experience with a podcast. I feel like I'm going to try and be funny, and it's going to fall flat. That's me.
Human fall flat.
Become human, fall flat, Detroit.
Kyle?
So yeah, it's actually my first time doing a podcast. A little anxious, a little nervous, but excited. Let's get some goofs going.
Yeah, so I say since this is our first episode, we do everybody a favor and give like a brief introduction about ourselves. You know, full name, address, social security number, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Here's my
Mother's
credit card
maiden
number.
name.
Let's type.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
all the answers to those security questions they have you answer on certain websites.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess I'll go first. My name's Robbie. I'm 23. Not gonna say where I live, but right now I have a really good job, and I live with my parents still because I'm saving up to move out. So that'll be cool. Hopefully, in a few months here, I'll have a whole big old studio behind me to help me record and make music. I'm a musician, which is why I have this expensive microphone and this whole expensive audio setup everybody makes fun of me for having. But yeah, I play guitar. I play plastic guitar as well. Guitar Hero. I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/naughtytree. It's awesome. And that's really all there is to know about me without getting too personal.
Kyle, since you've been so talkative this evening, why don't you go ahead and go next, bud?
All right, guys. So my name's Kyle. I am 24, going on 25 in January. That's a long ways away, I suppose. Anyways, so I am a business owner, one of the two CEOs of Candolia Candles, Candolia.com. Feel free to pick up a candle.
They smell great.
I'm also a streamer on Twitch.tv. Or wow. Yep. Okay. So casual underscore Sasquatch, Twitch.tv. Jesus, I'm butchering it already, boys.
It's all right, dude. Let the nerves flow
okay.
through you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So aside from that, I assume I'm not gonna say where I live, but that's all I got so far, boys. Eric?
All right. Well, they just said my name. So, hi, I'm Eric. I'm 26. I am a full-time content creator. I don't stream on Twitch, but I do stream on Facebook. You can search up Dr. Radical, and you can pretty much find me everywhere. I content create full-time. I am currently not working otherwise, but the plan is to eventually let this pick up and, make it somewhat livable for the plans that I have. I'm not going to give you my address unless you're going to offer home services. So if you have ideas, I'm probably not your guy, but it's good to give a recommendation. So it's all terrific around here.
So I see you saved the best for last.
As
Mwah.
always.
My name is Alex. I work a job. I make money at my job. And that's a thing I do. I'm going to tell you exactly where I live. I live at 123 Main Street, Anytown, USA. You can look me up. I'm in every phone book ever, even the sample ones that don't have real addresses. I also stream on Twitch. I'm not going to shamelessly self-promote, unlike these goons. I love you
why
all
not?
very much. You're all dear to my heart. Because nobody wants to see the content I make. It's not good.
It's wonderful.
It's amazing.
Thank you, Kyle. You all are so supportive towards me.
All right, so tell us a little bit more. Like, what you got, Alex?
You want to know more about me?
Well,
would you
yeah,
like to
I'm sure
know?
I'm not the only one though.
No? You think people want to know about me?
I think people want to know more about you, because I have a feeling that I'm not going to be the only one. I have a feeling that the audience is going to be like, "Oh, who's this? And what's about him?"
Who's this guy with the amazing red beard? That's not me.
Yeah,
in case you're watching on SoundCloud, well, not watching, but listening with your ears. I guess you could watch with your ears, really. I am bald. I'm 25. I will be 26 in December. So my hair migrated down south. I have a big bushy red beard. I look like the kind of person, if you saw on the streets, you would not want to affiliate. But if I gave you a hug, you would want to take me home and make me your teddy bear. That's the kind of person I am.
Yeah. Well,
But
we have some ideas for what we're going to talk about this episode. Since we all play video games, I say one of the first things we should talk about is video games. What is something that you guys were disappointed by this year, and something that exceeded your expectations this year? Whether it came out this year, of all time, whatever you want to answer, however you want to answer it. Kyle, you first, since you're so talkative.
Oh boy. Okay. So, so I'm gonna start off with my biggest disappointment of this year. Given I didn't play many video games this year, I mean, if I was gonna say I had a biggest disappointment, it was gonna be, I don't know, what, No Man's Sky when it first came up, but that made a nice turnaround. Proud of them. But my biggest disappointment for this year was actually Minecraft Dungeons, since I didn't play too many games this year. I'm reiterating way too often. Anyways, so I felt it was just a little lackluster. It was too much of a Diablo clone. As much as I love Diablo, especially Diablo 2, Diablo 3 is it's okay. But it wasn't really what I was looking for. I was looking for more of a kind of, I guess, more like Diablo, if it's weird to say. It felt like a poor Diablo clone, in my opinion. But I wanted more open world, more than the navigate from zone to zone like in old school Mario. And it just felt a little lackluster. And the epic weapons didn't feel that epic. Legendaries were kind of okay. It wasn't for me. I get it. But something that I really did like this year was actually Animal Crossing New Horizons. Especially during COVID when we were all quarantined at home. Alex, I see you shaking your head. No. Don't start with me. I love Animal Crossing. Ever since Wild World, bro, I love Animal Crossing to death. Yes, this is a game about doing chores, but it's also a game about making everyone's favorite thing, money.
and being indebted to a capitalist raccoon.
that you're not wrong about.
I mean,
played it.
he's not that bad of a guy, though.
What's his
He
name?
doesn't-
He doesn't charge interest.
He doesn't charge interest. You honestly really, I mean, I guess you want to progress through the games, you have to pay him and get a bigger house. It's a game about understanding. The guy hooks you up with a job right off the jump. How hard is it to find a job nowadays? I would say pretty difficult.
True.
So I mean,
Okay,
that's-
fair point. Fair
Very
point.
true.
yeah, right.
Very much so.
So it's like
So I
Job
mean, Tom
Simulator.
Nook, not the worst guy in the world. But one thing that really drew my attention to it was the terraforming feature. Some people said it was a feature added in earlier Animal Crossing. I don't remember it being in earlier Animal Crossings, to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure it was brand new to.
Not that I recall.
Yeah, same. So, anyways, it was definitely one of my favorite games of this year. All the way I've been playing up to the Halloween update, which has been phenomenal so far. Slightly lackluster in a few areas, but I don't want to rag on my favorite game of the year that helped me get through COVID. Aside from that, though, like Watch Dogs Legion just came out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Attaboy.
it's so good.
Attaboy.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. I just
oh, yeah,
picked it
bro.
up and I started playing it before we started doing this. It's so fun.
Bro, I love it so much. But aside from that, I'm gonna pass the torch off to whoever wants to pick it up next.
Okay,
Who's picking
I don't
up,
mind
who's putting
going.
down. You go.
Yeah, I'll pick it up this time. So I have played quite a few games in 2020. I mean, I can talk about each of them if you guys haven't played them or if you're interested in hearing more. But some of the games that I played in 2020 were the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster. I also picked up Resident Evil 3, and I was able to get Samurai Jack as well, the Battle Through Time. Those were all really good games, but I think out of the favorites, would probably have to go with Tony Hawk's Remaster. Resident Evil 3 felt like it should have been DLC to the second one. It didn't really have a lot of content. Like they really could have built a lot more off of it, and I finished it a lot faster than expected. Go ahead, Kyle.
Oh, bro. Okay, so the one reason I didn't play Resident Evil 3 is because, dude, they cut so much content from the original game, and that was triggering me. Because, dude, as much as you do, I love the Resident Evil series, bro. It was a big part of me growing up. Sorry, that's the only thing I just wanted to interject with.
Yeah, of course. And to kind of build off of that, I didn't actually play the original Resident Evil 2 or 3. I had never played them. Really, the only ones that I've played were Resident Evil 4. I've completed that at least 20 times.
Same.
If you saw the playtime on that game for me, it's absolutely bonkers across all platforms that I've played on. But Resident Evil 2 was a step in a really direction for me, someone who was kind of introductory to the series, but also someone who likes, third-person shooters with, puzzles and things like that. It was a really good game. Just 3 was such a letdown. So Capcom, if you're watching this or hearing this, I'm blaming you 100%. That said, about letdowns, I don't know if any of you guys have played it yet, but the biggest letdown for me was Star Wars Squadrons. For the Star Wars fans, I'm sorry if you're hearing this, but it's the truth. Squadrons wasn't garbage, but it kind of got close. The multiplayer was hyped up to be, the way they made it sound, Squadrons multiplayer was supposed to be like a co-op type deal, where each of you could like pick your own starfighters and, pilot your own ship and things like that. But God, like they made it to where it's more of a dogfight PvP. So, you're just basically shooting each other and flying around, and you're respawning back to back. But there was just, there was a lot of dead space that they really could have filled up. And I feel like it was a really huge letdown.
Speaking of Dead Space, fantastic game.
Fantastic. A+ game.
100%. I was hoping you guys could kind of bounce off of that. It was, God, if you're gonna pick it up, I recommend waiting until it's at least half price. Otherwise, it's honestly not worth it. So, Robbie.
Cool. My biggest letdown of 2020 is the game I was really looking forward to because I had watched it on multiple Twitch streams. The main culprit being Mizkif. I watched him play Fall Guys for a long time.
Oh,
I was looking forward to that game for so long. I even got into the beta, played the beta. I was like, all right. I mean, granted, you're playing a beta at that point. There's improvements that can be made. It was fun. Not fun to play alone, though. When the game came out, it was gifted to me because I didn't want to buy it because I didn't want to spend that $15 on a game I wasn't sure if I would like. And I'm glad I didn't spend the money because Fall Guys fucking sucks, to be honest with you. There was so much hype around it. I was really looking forward to it. I had fun for maybe 15, 20 minutes out of 3-4 hours that I played the game. Some of you might think that's not enough time to play the game. Fuck you, you're wrong. I'm just gonna say that you're wrong.
Roasted.
It had so much potential. I haven't played season 2 yet, so I'll have to give it a shot and see if it's any better. A lot of it seemed very, very repetitive, and there was too much trolling going on. Whenever you're at a finish line, you have some asshole sitting there waiting to grab you with those little corgi paws and just like fling you off the side with him so you both lose, or they push you off and you have a gang of these little Among Us characters like running at you. It had so much potential and it didn't live up to my hype. But speaking of hype, the only game that I'm hyped for doesn't even come out this year, comes out next year, and that is Far Cry 6. I am so hyped on Far Cry 6.
Okay.
I've been
Yes.
I've been replaying 5 recently. I had to uninstall it because it took up too much space, so I haven't got to play it in a while, and I'm sad. I'm genuinely like sad I can't play Far Cry 5 right now. The way that they have, what's his name, the guy who plays Gustavo Fring in Breaking Bad, Juan Carlos, something like that, something or the other. He is, the character is modeled after him. It is him, and like he's voicing the main villain in Far Cry 6, which I think is going to be incredible. He's such a great actor. He's always been somebody that I liked, and Breaking Bad kind of solidified that. So I think seeing him in a video game is going to be absolutely amazing. But as for games that I've been playing a lot this year, honestly, it didn't even come out this year, and it's fucking it's Guitar Hero basically. It's called Clone Hero. It's literally a clone of Guitar Hero for PC. I talked about it for like a second earlier. It is so much fun. It's such a casual game that you can have so much fun playing with friends, streaming it. You know, you can have any song that's charted for it. It's a community-made game. It's something that I think not Red Octane. They make the guitars. Activision, I think it's them. They should have put together a while ago something like this for PC, where it's free. It's free. It is a free Guitar Hero game. All you need is a Guitar Hero controller, which I'm sure most of you have if you ever played the game at all. It's something that everybody didn't know they wanted, but when they got it, were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Like I have 3,000 songs on that game, as opposed to what 80 or so on a regular Guitar Hero game.
Yeah.
I can sit and play for hours. It's so much fun. I could talk about it for hours, but I won't. Alex, go.
Yeah.
Plastic guitar, plastic rock god. Let me tell you. Speaking of plastic rock gods, Mick Jagger. Oh man, that man is more plastic than he is person, and I'm pretty sure he's fueled by cocaine.
Maybe he is.
You are probably not wrong.
He has the money for it.
Yes, he does.
He's got the moves like Jagger.
So when it comes to games I've played a lot of this year, I kind of go between games. One I've especially enjoyed lately, and it's part of my whole VR Renaissance revival thing I have going on lately, is actually Elite Dangerous, which is a game that came out quite a while ago. So you were talking about Squadrons earlier there, Eric. And I feel like Elite Dangerous is what Squadron should be.
I agree with that 100%. And not to kind of talk over you, but I have a friend that's in my Call of Duty team that is like obsessed with Elite Dangerous. He's got the joysticks and everything. Like it's bonkers. And he was so hyped for Squadrons for that reason, and that's why it was such a huge disappointment. But talk more about Elite Dangerous and what you've put into it.
So actually, for Elite Dangerous, I had initially picked up a HOTAS throttle, so hands-on throttle and stick. I actually picked that up for the new Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I will talk about in a moment here. But while I was waiting for it, I'm like, I have Elite Dangerous. I have a VR headset. Let's go ahead and do this. And that was probably one of the best decisions I've made this year. In regards to video gaming, I should say, and not other aspects of my life. I promise my life isn't that sad.
Man, I want to interject so bad. Dude, I tried playing Elite Dangerous in VR once upon a time. I had never felt sicker in my life.
I've never played it, and I have VR.
It's overwhelming.
It's a really fun game.
I'll have to check it out. How much is it?
It's a lot of fun.
Like less than $20.
$30.
Yeah,
and
unless you want the DLC or the DLC or whatever.
No, speaking of which, the DLC is now free.
Oh,
for everybody who buys the game.
Bro, do you know how much I spent on Elite Dangerous when I don't know, it was probably like 3 or 4 years ago now. Maybe not that long ago. Dude, I spent I don't
At
know
least
what,
$7.
like, yeah, I spent like $70.
You poor
Did you
soul.
say 7?
I said at least 7.
He's not
Wow.
wrong.
I'm
He's
not.
not wrong.
I mean, he's not wrong.
7.
Big galaxy brain right here.
Buy that
And
move.
yeah,
Super 5-head move.
Big
But
time.
Continue, Alex.
but speaking of, Microsoft Flight Simulator, as controversial as this may sound, I feel like, and I don't think it has anything to do with the game. It's personally been the biggest disappointment to me. I spent a good amount of money on it. I bought the, ultra deluxe. You get the, they send you a 6-foot tall statue of an airplane to your house version that video games used to have. And I just haven't put enough hours into it to justify the time. I think it needs some reworking, especially in regards to the multiplayer aspect of it. I'm sad because they took out the whole ATC option, air traffic control, from the Flight Simulator X version.
They did?
Which they may implement at some point, but it's not currently in the game. And I feel like, just talking to robots doing ATC takes a lot of the joy out of the game. I'd rather have some bumbling drunk idiot sitting in ATC telling me to, do something stupid. Go rocket ship mode in a 747. I want to go vertical. And no, they're just like, descend 6,000 feet. And I'm like, okay. And then I just turn the knob on autopilot and I go down.
Becomes a drag so quick.
Yeah, it's like an actual job.
There's one guy on YouTube, and his whole channel is about Microsoft Flight
Air
Simulator.
Force Proud.
Air Force Proud, that dude. I've been watching a
love
lot of
Air
his
Force
content.
Proud.
He is hilarious. Like,
is.
just the drunk people, like you said, the drunk idiots he has. That's immediately who I thought of when you said that. In, like, these TeamSpeak servers that are just slurring their words, and he's, like, he's so, like, immersed into it. He's like, oh, ATC, repeat that, please. Delta 4769 over, whatever the fuck he is. I don't know what the fuck these call signs are.
It doesn't matter. That's it. It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
So we've all spoken about our favorite game and biggest disappointment, right?
Mhm.
So do we want to talk about now the nostalgia trip that is Halo
Oh,
that we've been
boy.
playing together?
yes.
Man, it's
before
been a trip.
Yeah, big time.
Halo
Before
2
we get
PC.
into that, though, I wanted to ask one question to Robbie, actually.
What's up, buddy?
So Robbie, you're pretty knowledgeable on the Far Cry series, right?
A little bit.
So the new Far Cry, I heard it's a precursor to Far Cry 3. Is that correct?
Don't fucking know.
Oh, word. Okay. I was wondering if you could confirm that for me,
I
but
have no clue.
I don't know. I didn't know if it was like
I cannot
don't know.
confirm or deny these rumors.
I did not,
These allegations.
I did not
Oh
do that.
gosh.
I plead the fifth.
I just want to say before we get into Halo talk, Halo 2 for Windows Vista is the game that got me into PC gaming. My buddy Jack, I forget who else we played with. Zant, it's his online name, and then I think Alex was another guy we played with. Maybe some guy named Josh. I think it's everybody. We would stay up for hours playing Halo 2 Vista, and that game, like, it sucked me into the realm of PC gaming. I bought computers because I wasn't able to afford to build my own. So for Christmas, I'd be like, "Mommy, can you buy me this computer? It's $300." Oh, okay. And that'd be like my one gift that year. And then I still play Halo. Like the other night, we were playing Halo 2 Vista, and you guys, or not Halo 2 Vista, but Halo 2. And, we were on Windows Vista computers, and like the whole time, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I remember this and this, and I was getting chills on my arms just because it's such a nostalgia trip. This entire like Master Chief collection, and I think it's awesome that they brought it to PC. That's all I gotta say.
Absolutely.
100%. I agree with all that.
Yeah, dude.
One thing
like, go ahead, Alex.
we found out about Eric is he can do the announcer voice. I want
Oh,
you to do
God.
the announcer voice for us, Eric.
Please.
Make some panties wet out there.
Better
Oh,
yet,
man.
do it at the end and say thanks for watching Leftovers at Midnight at the very end of this episode.
okay.
Make
So
them
you
watch
don't-
till the end.
Yeah, that'd be dang.
Make them
Yeah,
watch and
okay.
listen
Yeah.
till the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't give them
A
what they
little
want right
tease,
now.
little tease.
Yeah, yep. We'll leave it at that. It is doable, according to the rest of them. But yeah, you'll just have to listen or watch until the end.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Kyle, you were
so-
saying something? Oh,
Oh yeah, basically just kind of what Robbie was going off. Yeah, Halo is also kind of what got me into PC gaming. I mean that and like EverQuest and World of Warcraft. But yeah, I played a lot of Halo Combat Evolved on PC aside from Xbox Classic, where we'd all go to our cousin's house and have all of our Xboxes, and Sidewinder and Blood Gulch were our thing. That was what it was. But then once I realized you could play on PC and play online with people, I was like, oh, this is neat. And that's when I got good at rocket jumping and stuff. And I just got really good. And then,
Rocket jumping. Yeah.
dude,
That was the shit.
freshman year of high school, competed in my first tournament. I was very happy, even though no one really played the game. It was like me and 6 other people.
Ninja was a
I was
pro
happy
Halo
with
player.
that.
Do you know that?
Really? Was he?
Yeah. I don't
Didn't
know if
know
he was
that.
HyperX Ninja at that point or if he was a different name, but yeah, Ninja was a professional Halo player.
Yep, as
Wow.
well as Tifu.
Yeah.
That's how. So to kind of build off of that, Tifu actually grew up in my hometown. So
Can confirm.
spoiler alert. So Tifu actually got his start as well by his brother recording Halo 2 gameplay and like online multiplayer games like that. But that's kind of how he got that jump start into like professional gaming. So yeah,
That's cool.
Alex, what got you into PC gaming?
what got me into PC gaming? I suppose really it was during high school. I used to play on Xbox 360, which will tell you how old I am. And then after that, we all kind of moved to PlayStation 4.
Upgraded?
But there was we didn't play enough on PlayStation 4 with me and buddies, and I was like, you know what? I want a computer that can do everything.
Yeah.
And then I got a Steam account and I had expendable cash. And now I have like 900 Steam games. And I have played like 3 of them.
Yikes. Proud of you.
I have about 300 and I've played 7, so I'm right there with you.
I think I'll have like
Yep.
200 and I play like 4 or
Yeah.
5, maybe 10.
All these
I don't
games
know.
with nothing to play.
Yep.
It's
Wow.
great.
All right, but Halo though, right?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
it's been a trip. That Halo 2 and Halo 3 were my first exposure to like online multiplayer gaming because
Mhm.
that was
Big time.
I mean, I guess in my own perspective, I was like sheltered from online multiplayer games. I didn't really know that was a thing until Halo 2 and Halo 3.
Yeah.
That's what kind of brought me into that world. But what actually brought me into PC gaming, believe it or not, was RuneScape. I
Yeah.
didn't
oh
play,
boy.
I didn't play any other type of computer games or anything except for like what was obviously at our schools, like those preloaded games that were meant for education. But if we're talking about like real PC gaming, RuneScape was the kind of introductory for me. I had a lot of consoles growing up and I still have quite a few of them. But my first like real PC gaming experience after I like built my own desktop a few years ago was actually a combination between Warframe and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Oh yeah.
Those were the two games
Yeah.
that really kind of like stuck out to me because I didn't really know anything about PC gaming. Honestly, it was just kind of like, hey, I have a PC now. Oh, I can play these games with a controller or keyboard. Sick. Like this is what I'm going to do. So that was kind of my initial exposure to that. But that was in the last like 3 years. So I'm not nearly as cultured to PC gaming as everybody else.
Yeah.
So
That's
Hey
all right.
man, I mean,
That's all right.
bro, I played a lot of RuneScape too, from playing at school and going to actually the library, like kind of I guess a little bit down the street from me, and going with my friend and his mom and his sisters and everyone. Like he got me into playing RuneScape when I don't know, we were probably late elementary school, early middle school. But yeah, dude, I fell in love with it, and I still play RuneScape today, dude. I'm a current RuneScape 3 player. Like I don't know, I just like it. It's a lot of grinding, and it's something to do.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Fight me on it. I will die on that hill and be happy about it.
Did-
But yeah. What?
What? Everybody talk at once. Go.
What?
Uh,
Jeez.
I was gonna say, did any of you ever play Gaia Online?
Yep.
I'm familiar with it,
Oh,
but I never
used to
really
play
got
that.
exposed to it.
Gaia and
Bro.
Club Penguin and RuneScape. Technically, I guess we could say Club Penguin got me into PC gaming, but like Eric said, my first online multiplayer game was Halo 2. But you had to we all know you had to have a sick machine to run Club Penguin. Rest in peace to the goat, by the way.
Right?
I wasn't a Club Penguin kid. I was actually a
you
Neopet kid.
I played Neopets too. And
I was a
Webkins?
Neopet kid.
God,
I also
Webkins.
found myself loving Flash games. I know Kyle can relate to this as well. Thing Arena, games like that. Swords and Sandals was actually one of, besides RuneScape, like if we're just talking about like PC gaming in general, Flash games and games like Swords and Sandals were like my first exposure to actual PC gaming, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I don't have a controller. I don't know. Like, in my experience, keyboards were for typing,
Yeah.
not to move characters around and stuff. So that was really strange for me to kind of like jump into. But yeah, super nostalgic. By the way, if anybody else didn't know, Swords and Sandals, the whole like collection is actually available on Steam, and I may or may not have purchased it out of wanting that nostalgic trip.
Honestly, dude, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Bro, guys, so this talk of like our like getting into PC gaming, and you know, I'm pretty sure we all remember like first learning how to WASD.
Facade.
W-A-S-D.
Yeah. Halo 2.
Facade.
Yeah, dude. So
No,
Yep.
Halo 1.
funny enough,
No.
I'm reliving this every now and again. I'm reliving this with my nephew, who he comes over and he loves playing Call of Duty. Given I have Call of Duty on my computer, and it's his favorite game in the world. But you know, when we were all young once. So I'm like, hey, I only got it on PC. I gave you my Xbox for your birthday. I just bumped my mic. So I'm like, you can try and play on my computer, because he saw me playing it. And dude, he was using the keyboard with two hands, bro. I was dying. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. I love him
man.
to death, though. It's so great, like teaching. Oh man, then I gave him my Xbox. Told him, here we go, ham. We couldn't do that back in my day. It was just great though. On top of all of that, Alex, I keep seeing that thing flying the camera, bro. Is this Phasmophobia? That's a game we should talk about.
Phasmophobia.
That game's
One of
fun.
the
You know,
so buggy though.
So, I mean, personally, I'm not the type that like really fucks with the paranormal, not out of like fear or anything. It was never really my vibe, and I didn't like fall into that category. So, I mean, what are your guys' experiences, or like what are your beliefs on that?
I don't have anything.
Well, for me at least, you know, as I was growing up, I watched Sci-Fi Channel a lot. I watched a lot of Ghost Hunters.
I did
Ghost
that
Hunters, man.
on Netflix, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Bro, like me watching Ghost Hunters, reading Goosebumps, and all this just other just wacky stuff. Eventually, you know, as I got older, growing up, reading, you know, Stephen King, Edgar Allan Poe, and things like that, and getting into some Lovecraftian stuff, just because I was an edgelord in school. Anyways, but like it was neat to me to, you know, go into like same as like when I played World of Warcraft. I went to these places to escape a normal reality and to understand, you know, how other people's brains kind of worked and what they imagined, which I guess led me to being more of a creative type myself. I mean, you guys know I like to draw and do things like that, and you know, I'm into that kind of weird out there stuff that it's not even because I believe in stuff. I'm like, this is just neat. This is just cool. And, you know, I researched Norse mythology and all this other random stuff. And I don't know. I'm a weird guy, but I like it.
Hey, we're all a little weird, aren't
Yep,
we?
nothing wrong with
Every
that.
Hey, man,
single one of us.
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, we all fall into the yes category. So
Big
Definitely.
true.
Yeah.
Big true.
Definitely.
we
Totally.
all have our little things that, kind of make us stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
Idiosyncrasies. That's the word you're looking for.
For
Sure,
me,
Webster. I mean, whatever you want to call that.
I've come to find out what makes me stand out the most is the big Dragon Ball Z tattoo on my arm. Because every time I meet somebody, the first thing they mention, it's not like the wacky shirt that I'm wearing or something. It's, hey, look at your arm. That's Dragon Ball Z. Wow, that's awesome. It's like a conversation starter. And it also, I've been made fun of for it, which I don't mind because I think it's sick. But oh well, why do you have a cartoon on your arm? Why not? And then they have nothing to say. Then they have nothing to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I walk around wearing cat shirts all the time. That's the conversation starter for me. It's either that or my beard.
That was one of the
we've
things that
talked
really
about that.
that was really one of the things that stuck out for me when I first met Alex was that his shirts were always kind of, I wouldn't say out there because that sounds bad, but they were always kind of that like galactic vibe, or they like had cats all over them, like that. Alex was the cat shirt galaxy guy. Like I at the time I didn't really know his name, so that's kind of like how I remembered it, and it eventually stuck.
Yeah, what stuck out to me about Alex was seeing him pull up in a loud ass car. I was like, this guy's gonna be cool. Just walk out with a long, straight red beard. I was like, okay, yep, we match kind of. Mine's shorter now. I just trimmed it, but sort
The
of.
council approves.
The council approves. Good.
Yep, 100%.
So should we without going into too much detail, kind of give a brief explanation about how we met each other, without giving anything personal away? Because we all know how we met each other, but for the viewers,
yeah, we know how we met each other, but
Yeah,
I don't think the audience is really going to know us. So I mean,
to put it a little vaguely, Eric and I used to work together, and people that had come into our store were Kyle and Alex, and over time, the more that they showed up, the more we had conversations with them, and we just became friends through that. Found out we all have something in common, which is PC gaming. And for anybody who plays PC games, you know that you most likely have a Discord. You most likely have Steam. You have all these things in common, and you can just kind of vibe right off the bat with that kind of thing, which is super cool.
Yep. That and being huge fucking nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of a given. You have a PC? How many monitors do you have? Like,
does your keyboard light up?
Yeah, does your keyboard light up? Like, what kind of mouse do you have? And we would just kind of like bounce off of different things like that. That can, I mean, at least in the PC gaming world, when you're not online, like when you're actually out in the real world,
scary.
Scary.
In kind of a weird way that can either make or break a conversation or the start of a friendship or a relationship or whatever, because some people feel like super strongly about certain things.
Yep.
And that's not an argument that we can have in this episode, but the point is that like we all kind of got the vibe that we had similar interests as far as PC gaming goes. So we just kind of, hit it right off the bat for pretty much all of us. I mean, I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah.
So
the way Alex and I want to say became friends is he had walked into the store I was working at one day wearing a shirt with corgis on it. And I said, hey, I have one of those things. And then it just became a conversation. Yeah, I have a corgi. I will show him off one episode. We'll have an episode dedicated to him, whether you guys like it or not, because he's expensive. Okay.
Corgi Fest.
Corgi Fest, yeah. He's expensive. He's a little shit. I love him to death. And if you guys have any high maintenance dogs, I guarantee my dog is worse.
I agree.
He's like worse than a cat. But I love him.
Yeah, right. He's cute. He's cuddly. He's got a little heart-shaped butt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he does. I guarantee you it was a Cowboy Bebop shirt I was wearing.
It was. You were wearing
It
it
had to
yesterday.
have been, 'cause
boy.
those are the only corgi shirts I own.
Yep.
You know that means you have to wear that next episode, right?
Yep.
I will
Yep.
most definitely. I have more than one Cowboy Bebop shirt with a corgi on it, so
Oh,
I
because
will
now-
have
Yeah, because now the audience knows that that exists, and they're probably going to be like, "Oh, well, where's the shirt?"
That means I
So
have to
now,
bring the
now
dog.
we gotta kind of fill that void.
Have an excuse to
we
bring
have
my
an
dog out now.
audience.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll be like 300 episodes deep and be like, hey, you guys should go watch the first episode and look at how like scared and anxiety ridden we all were about not knowing what to say.
Exactly. Exactly. But I think that's the most important part of a first episode is that, you know, we all learn, and this was something that we had talked about before the recording had started, but this is kind of the point where, you know, we all learn to feed off of each other's energy and how to appropriately bounce back from the empty part of a conversation. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've been recording for 40 minutes. You guys want to keep going, or you guys want to call it a short little episode to begin with?
I think this is a good starting point for our
Yeah.
first episode. If you
definitely think
guys
it's
are really
solid.
calling it, then we are.
Yeah.
Up to you
Alright,
guys.
Well, thanks everybody for watching the first episode of Leftovers at Midnight. We hope you have a safe, happy Halloween, and you know you're staying safe with coronavirus out there and doing everything you can to better yourself and whatever else. Eric, take it away.
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll hopefully see you next week. Get your popcorn and make sure you're hungry for the Leftovers at Midnight.
That was good. I like that. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
guys.